Hi, today is July 27th, 2025, and here are my poems for the day. First one is poem number 1154 for the year, The Jesus God Clouds. Jesus God, the clouds towered over me like gods, like Jesus gods. I sat transfixed in my seat on the boat as we went under the Jesus God clouds and under the bridge. And as they loomed larger and larger and larger, I kept saying, Jesus God, Jesus God, Jesus God, despite my lack of belief in Jesus, despite my lack of belief in God. Because despite my lack of those particular beliefs, I definitely believed in those clouds. I definitely believed in the Jesus God clouds. Poem number 1155, Crones and Cronies. The Crones rarely hung out with the Cronies. The Crones had a lot of self-respect, and they shared wisdom amongst themselves and gave each other moral support. The Cronies shared graft and other special favors amongst themselves and assisted each other in their immorality. The Crones and Cronies just didn't have a lot in common. And in fact, if the Crones saw the Cronies walking towards them on the sidewalk, the Crones would cross the street to try to avoid the Cronies. If you're thinking that's rude, I have to ask you, why are you taking the Cronies' side? The Cronies suck. They're just out for what they can grab, while the Crones just hang around the cauldron doing incantations and maybe engaging in the smallest amount of gossip. The Crones are really good-natured, whereas the Cronies are just dicks. Poem number 1156, Bros and Bronies. I'd be hard-pressed to choose sides between the bros and the bronies. The bros drink too much and throw up on themselves and each other and talk about sports incessantly, while the bronies go to My Little Ponies conventions and basically act like 9-year-old girls. It's kind of creepy. A plague on both of their houses is what I say. If I were walking on a sidewalk and I saw some bros headed toward me and I crossed the street to get away from them, but then now on the other side of the sidewalk there were some bronies coming at me, I'd probably try to walk in the street or maybe grab a cab or something, because I'd be kind of fucked. It would be a real Scylla and Charybdis of fuckery. Poem number 1157, That Guy. It will be almost a year before Christopher Nolan's adaptation of The Odyssey comes out. Once that happens, a lot more people will know what Scylla and Charybdis is. Meanwhile, I'm concerned about having made a somewhat obscure literary reference. I don't want to be that guy who makes obscure literary references. I guess maybe I'd rather be that guy who makes pop culture references. Once The Odyssey comes out, references to Scylla and Charybdis will be pop culture references. But until that happens, almost a year from now, I guess I'm that guy. And poem number 1158, Pain. If beauty was hurtful, then I'd be hurt whenever I saw you or thought about how beautiful you are. If beauty was painful, your beauty would make me screaming, mad, insane, crazy with pain. If beauty was injurious, I'd be bruised and bleeding and missing limbs and limping and screaming like a crazed banshee and really just totally fucked. I mean, I'm kind of totally fucked anyway, even without the pain. So if beauty caused pain, I'd be double, triple, quadruple fucked. Poem number 1159, Stuff. If beauty were like the cream in Oreo cookies, yours would be double, triple, quadruple stuff, and I'd be eating it all the fucking time. And the last poem of the day, poem number 1160, Only Love. She said, I'm a mere cock's length away from falling in love with you, but it might as well be a quarter mile or 1,000,000 miles, until the gap is closed, until the hull is breached, until the difference is made, until the distance is reached. There won't be any in. There will only be love. No in love, only love. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.